Good morning. Good morning. Trying to adjust my camera this morning. Good morning. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Monday. Moambi, good morning, Mo. Are you working today? I'm not. I'm assuming that some people still have to work. Some people may still be in bed for having barbecues and things like that. Good morning. Good morning. Sophistocrat 74. Good morning. So I wanted to jump on this morning. Okay, not working today. Great, Moambi. I wanted to jump on this morning. I was kind of just laying in the bed talking to my husband this morning, and I'm like, oh, today is truly Monday. And although it's a holiday, good morning, although it's a holiday for everyone, but one moment. Oops, not sure what I just did there. So hey Shane, okay. Hey Shane. So yes, today is Memorial Day. Happy happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. My name is Marquisa Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Elevate Leadership Enterprises, and I just wanted to jump on really quick just to talk about today the topic. Always remember, never forget. This is Memorial Day, so there's some things we need to remember. Absolutely, shout outs to our veterans, those who have gone before us, and those who are currently serving in our armed forces, U.S. and around the world. Happy Memorial Day. Deepest respect, deep honor for those who served our country or are serving our country. And what better way or topic to talk about is service and leading. As a leader, right? We talk about that's what we do. We don't just lead, we serve. So those persons in the armed forces, I know my uncle served in the armed forces. My brother-in-law served in the armed forces. I'm quite sure some of you may have served in the armed forces. But shout out, much respect for each and every one who has really did an outstanding job sacrificing their lives for us. All right, so my topic this morning on this leadership lift is always remember, never forget. Have you ever, I'm throwing some questions out here first. Have you ever witnessed a person when they receive a promotion or they move on to another company, a department, they do some different things in the community or what have you, and they begin to walk differently? I'm blocking some folks this morning. Block ministry in effect this morning. I get it, but always remember, never forget. Have you witnessed a person, they move on, they go to another place, they move to a different state, they move up in the company, and then all of a sudden you never hear from them anymore, or they start talking down to you or talking differently, talking differently. They get a new role in the church, whatever, and all of a sudden they get new on you, right? And you're like, well, what the heck? What's going on? You try to reach out. But I've witnessed this too many times, whether it be in the church, in the corporate setting, even in the community. Lord help us, some of the block captains. When they become block captains, the power trip happens. All of these different things change about them and how they treat the very people that helps to support them, even voted them in, help them move up in their careers, move and mentored them in ministry, whatever it is. They walk away in their position and they forget the people who have helped them along. So that is not a good thing, a good attribute as it relates to leadership. So I wanted to just say, never forget where you came from as a leader. You always want to remember those people who held your hand, those people who prayed for you, those people who gave you advice, those people who even funded you or resourced you in such a way to get you to the place where you are currently, or where you had really ascribed to be. Don't forget those mentors and those teachers and those professors. Mwambi, if you're still on, I was sharing yesterday about how you were, although you were my sister friend, you were also my teacher, and how you were really hard-nosed and hard-pressed and hardcore on us as your students, and how you sold into us. And I also shared that Mwambi, if she's still on, or I'm just telling the story anyway, her mother was actually my first counseling teacher. It was an unofficial teaching, but she sold into my life in such a way that I will never, ever forget. I mean, she taught with love, but she taught with a passion, but she was hardcore. You better have studied, had your assignments done, you studied those scriptures, you considered those nuggets, those counselors, those people that would be before you. But I will never forget those people who were very intricate in my life, in my learning and my teaching, who pushed me along the way, those people who pushed me when I didn't think that I could do it. You know, they spoke life into me. I never forget those people. So what, you know, in my introduction, I was saying that, you know, when we move on, or we get elevated to certain things in certain areas and certain positions in our lives, we should never forget those people who were before us, who came before us, who are still walking alongside of us, who gave us support. Because oftentimes when people get into their position, they start making plenty of money, they're getting to the place where they really wanted to be, or they forget about those people. They forget about those people who really laid a foundation for them. So on this Memorial Day, I am encouraging you to remember and never forget. Never forget those who have poured and sown and dedicated time and effort into your lives. That is one of the #1 things as a leader that we should never, ever, 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 never, ever forget. So while I realized, you know, some of you might still be watching with one eye or listening because you were up barbecuing, I still wanted to share. I did not want to forget you on today, although it's a holiday. So hopefully some of you will watch this on the replay. So some of the key things that I wanted you to walk away is, we must remember the people who influenced us and inspired us. I remember my old bosses and my old pastors who sold into my life. I call them every now and again and see how they're doing. I reach back. I offer my services. I offer my gifts and my talents to them. Never forget them. Remember that when we move up and move on, we still need people. So it's still not about you. We say this probably every week, that leadership is never about us. So remember that we still need other people. Remember, yes, Renee, remember those who inspires us. And then remember, a biblical principle is, remember that pride comes before the fall. So what you got a new title? So what you started your new business? So what you're in a new position? So what you're doing all the things that you aspire to do? Never become prideful. Remember the people. Remember that you need help. You will still need people regardless of what level you have elevated to. And remember to give back by offering your talents, offering your gifts to the organizations that you've been a part of, offering to help your community by going back and sewing the places where you left. Offer advice, offer support. Everywhere you go, you want to offer your talents. So don't forget those people that you have technically, you didn't leave them behind, that you moved on from. Remember those organizations. There's always, you know, remember hopefully you left a footprint, a positive footprint where you moved on from. I know even now, I spent most of my career in a particular organization within the company that I work for. However, I still offer my support. They have any workshops, any trainings that need to be done, offering advice on how to develop their leaders. I reach back to those leaders in those organizations and say, what can I do for you this year? Is there anything that you want me to share? Anything that you want me to give back? Anything that you want me to influence? Because although we move up and we move on, we still should be bringing people with us. Yes, we should still be bringing people with us. Never forget. Always remember, never forget. So your remembering goes a long way in the life of other people. You just never know how deeply you impact. Some people might be just watching you, watching your movement, watching how you moved on, watching your behaviors, watching how you lead other people. It's very important that we reach back. Some people may not outwardly speak up, but they are watching. So always remember, never forget. Never forget where you came from. So don't just move up and on to something and forget again where you came from. As forgetting about others is never a good look for you as a leader. You always want to remember. Sometimes we may remember. You ever go up to people that you may not have seen for years, and they may have done a presentation or did something, and you walk up to them and say, remember, we used to work together so and so many years, or we served together in ministry so and so years, and they kind of look. They may not remember your name, but they might remember your face. That's still very critical. It's never a good look to say, I don't remember you. You can say, I don't remember you, but I'm glad that I sowed into your life. What is your name? Maybe I'll remember going forward. What are you doing? How are you doing? Asking those questions, still making that person feel very important along the way. So it's very critical. That's right, Renee. We never know how we might impact someone. We are absolutely being watched as leaders. So always remember, never forget. Remember, leading is not selfish. It's about others. When we move to bigger and better things, it's never again about us. It's about taking others with us on this journey called life. So never forget. So like I said this morning, this is a quick scope. It's always remember, never forget. Again, shout out to our veterans. Shout out to those who are serving in our armed forces, who are serving in our communities. It is Memorial Day. I wanted to do a special edition. I actually steered away from our growing series and really wanted to focus on this topic today about remembering, since it is Memorial Day. So I wanted to, we'll pick up the last part of our growing series on next week, although we will be going into a new month. But I want to finish our growing series next week, but I wanted to pause and think about and remember those who have served, who have gone on before us, who have influenced us in some capacity, in some way into our lives. And remember, even some of the bad things that happened to us or the negative things that happened to us made an impact and made us different, made us better for who we are today. So never forget those rough places. Never forget those humble beginnings. Never forget the people who sowed into our lives, who are still giving advice, who are still holding our hand and walking alongside of us to help us to accomplish our dreams and our hopes and our destiny. So again, for those of you who are just joining, I appreciate you joining on this early morning at 8 this morning Eastern Standard Time for this leadership lift. I am Marquisa Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Elevate Leadership Enterprises. All things leadership. I have a passion about pouring into the lives of leaders, helping people to define their purpose and walk into their purpose and destiny, to provide resource and workshops and motivational speaking to those who might need to hear, who needs a boost and being uplifted, who need just a boost. So I do these every Monday morning, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So breaking away from our normal series of our growing series, but wanted to shout out and just say, always remember, never forget. If you, you can also look at some of my previous leadership lifts by joining my YouTube page under my name, which is Marquisa Williams. Check out all of the leadership lifts that I've done so far. Make comments, commentary, share what you're thinking about it. You can also take a look at my website, which is simply marquisawilliams.com, and you could get my free ebook, Anyone Leading Anything Should Know. You will also be automatically rolled into getting my distribution list for my newsletters that I give out every month. Usually around the second week of each month, it is issued. So again, I appreciate you taking the time to join this special edition of our Leadership Lift. Remember, always remember, never forget. Have a wonderful Memorial Day, a restful week. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.